are very lovely. What did you call it, a tet?
The first one was I am in touch on the way.
But you called it a tet. I like that.
Tet, yeah.
A little pet name. Pet name. A pet name for a tet game. All right. Next up we have a fellow, actually speaking of tet, who is an extremely talented sonneteer. Among other things, he's a wonderful poet. He goes by the name of D.N. Simmers, and of course I know him as Neil. Please come up, Neil, and read some poetry for us.
You can just push the bottom of it down, the end sticking out down there, and it'll come up. There you go.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
So I had to borrow a pair of glasses. So if I actually did this recently, and I actually dropped the glasses on the ground. So if that happens, it's all part of the act. The first one is a poem that I did. I was recently in a eco poetry environmental witness retreat in Lake Cowichan with Jane Zwitsky, and we wrote some poems, but we did a sort of a whole bunch of older poems. This is brand new, and it comes out of going to a forest reserve. And if you don't know what a forest reserve really is, it's a piece of land that has been given back to the Crown, but they're freeze it. In other words, you can't do anything with it. It's very important that you understand they can't do anything at all to it. If a tree falls, it stays there. If the nearby creek, if a bunch of trees get washed into the creek, they stay there. Okay? It's called pickup. And there's a quote. To pick up the pen that isn't there, Don Demansky. Out in the woods, and the ranger is showing us flowers that look like weeds or just green things that have been stuck there by a mossy forest god. Over here and there is Trillium. She holds the trail like a posse leader and points to moss and old growth trees. The river, now a small stream in spring, has a bend full of tangled, uprooted trees from the winter. Storm God was not happy then. Here is where the first loggers cut steps up and started to saw. It is quiet and hot. The forest does not give up her creatures on a day and the afternoon where there is no wind, just the heat of hours changing. About a year and a half ago, I did this poem as part of the Heart of the City. I belong to Thursday Writing Collective, and we did this as part of our presentation. And we're also doing right now, the theme is food. So this was a food thing. Food you eat while walking. Think of yourself as a dragonfly who grabs things to eat while on the fly off to a show chewing gum or eating something like a hot dog burger in a bun. Chips wrapped in paper or tackles or wraps, walking with an umbrella up or dragging a backpack. Perot walking as the condiments squeeze out of the side of the mouth, tongue wiping it back into the mouth and down to the furnace. Wrappings found on the streets like discarded wings, looking for a place to put them in the trash, searching, found a place and picked up the pace, off, back to the human race. Wonder what kind of day will be out there to be sorted between the food lines of day. Thank you.